Hybrid war is a term that was invented in order to describe a situation where two things are happening together, both military, conventional military effort and a non-conventional military effort. Later on it was taken to describe all kinds of things that are happening together at the same time. I think that today we have to speak less about hybrid war and more about hydra war, where so many things are happening on so many levels at the same time, and you have to fight all of them simultaneously. And that's the new kind of global threats and global conflicts that we are witnessing today. Because there's cyber war happening together with terror war, together with military efforts, together with an effort to influence the public opinion. Everything is happening simultaneously. And part of it is being done by the enemy himself, part of it is being done by proxies of the enemy, part of it is being done by individuals who have some affinity to the enemy, and all of them are working together according to some sort of a partiture that somebody wrote, and everybody knows what he has to do because we are living in the cyber era, and you don't have to be a soldier in order to fight. You just have to know what you are expected to do, and that's what you do. That's hybrid or hydra war today. The main challenge, so many, but the main challenges are that you have to understand what is the entire picture that you are fighting against, and to be able to confront and cope with every and each element in this battle, and to prioritize in between them. That is a very big challenge. And the second biggest challenge is that in order to be able to do that, you need to be able to have a process of learning. And the process of learning that includes all the people on your side that are supposed to be taking part in the battle. And this is very difficult because there is such a lack of coordination between the people that are fighting, that to put them together and make sure that they all understand the nature of the threat and are all able to act upon it in a synergetic and coordinated manner, it's a huge effort. And the third problem is that there's some sort of disequilibrium between the commitment on the other side of the enemy and that comes from ideological zeal, religious zeal and things like that, and our reluctance on the side of the West and the free countries to even be engaged in any war. This makes our capability to cope with this threat really problematic. Well, of course, the Russians invented a lot of ideas on warfare, and they do learning, pretty impressive learning. And some of the elements that you see today are actually were invented in Russia, and they were the first to understand, in my mind, the scope and the capabilities coming from the cyberspace. And both in protecting themselves, Kaspersky and others, and in understanding that this gives them also opportunities to attack. And we've seen it in so many areas, and they are developing this all the time, this idea of intervening in elections and weakening the West's ability to protect itself and to create wedges between the public and the government. These are all ideas that are coming from Russia, and are being implemented not only by the Russians, but by all kinds of people who, as I said before, are affiliated or have some affinity to the Russians' ideas. And there are many groups in the West that volunteer to be the people that would carry on these ideas that are coming from Moscow. Well, first of all, we are not teachers. We are sharing. We are sharing our experience because we are living in an area where hybrid war is being waged against us for a long time. In many cases, we were the first to encounter this problem. So we share our experience, and as I said before, our first lesson from that is that you got to have a very strong and capable learning system. Secondly, you got to develop the intelligence dominance. You have to be able to know what's going on all the time, in all the places, so that you should be able to learn more effectively and come up with all kinds of solutions that the enemy will be oversmarted by you, and you will not be oversmarted by the enemy. And how to learn this is something that we have also made some progress on. We are learning in a more effective way, I think, than many others. So we can share the way we learn. And then learning, everybody has to do his own learning, because learning is something you do in a context. So if you can't just look at what somebody else did and copy and paste. No, you got to do your own learning with your own people about your own problems.